So this is a quick introduction to FeedFeedFeed. FeedFeedFeed was built for people that want to be able to read feeds without having to do any kind of management, and really just treats feeds as a way to get the most interesting information that's available right now. So it does a few interesting things here. We'll go over the UI a little bit to give you an idea of how it works, but you can import your feeds via OPML, which you can get from Google Reader and other feed readers like that. You can import them just by going over to the action box here, and as it explains here, if you type in OPML, it'll allow you, it'll have an option OPML to import your feeds from the file. And you can also export your feeds from here. But once you do that, you'll FeedFeedFeed will start requesting your feeds whenever you load it up, and it'll also set itself up as a feed reader in Firefox if you want to be able to subscribe to new feeds. But basically what it's going to do is it's going to request your feeds and put them into a queue over here on the right side. It's going to prioritize these things based on what you tend to do in FeedFeedFeed. So which feeds you're actually reading the most, those feeds will be pushed to the top of the queue. And you can also set some feeds to be high priority so that they'll go right to the top whenever they've got new entries. So going over there to the left side here, basically this is where you'll do your feed reading. This first feed that we have up right now is actually a special one called Hot Topics, which FeedFeedFeed comes up with based on all of the entries in your particular feed set. So I have a lot of tech feeds. We see today that there are actually 8 posts about Microsoft. Looks like Microsoft Word. So FeedFeedFeed has figured out that these are based on the same subject, and so it just puts them all together here so that you can get a nice quick view of what's going on. So you'll notice that basically I just go over and hover my mouse over the entry, and that brings up this window, which I can use my scroll wheel to kind of go up and down and look at things. If I want to interact with the window, then I just do a single click, and the window is locked here. I can kind of drag it around. You can star an entry, which basically means that it'll be put into this special feed, which you can bring up over here if you wanted to look at something later. And you can also do some sharing, which if you click on this, it brings up a box where you can add an email contact that you'd like to share with, or a friend feed account, or a Twitter account if you want to put something up on Twitter, and then an X to close it down. So you can go over and hover over entries, check them out by scrolling down, and then when you're done, you just keep on moving down to the next entry. Let's see, some of the other interesting things from the UI here. Usually FeedFeedFeed will show the picture and the text, but you can also go ahead and customize that a little bit by turning off pictures or turning off text. So it just kind of shows you a quick glance at what's going on, which is good for sites such as Perez Hilton, where you may not really care about the headlines. You can kind of glean everything quickly from the text and get an idea if there's something you want to check out there. When you're done with a feed, you just click on the X icon, and that will send the feed away until it has new entries, at which point it would go back into the queue, pre-sorted to wherever it should be based on either the priorities or based on how you normally read them. TechCrunch here, I have actually given it high priority by using these little arrow toggle. If I click it again, it would go down to low priority, and clicked it another time, and then it toggles to just normal priority. So it gives you a way to kind of just take certain feeds and make sure they go to the top, and then the low priority feeds are always at the bottom, just if you have enough time to check them out. So some other interesting things about FeedFeedFeed, if we can come up with I haven't looked beforehand, but anytime that there is anytime there is, I guess we're not finding anything here, a flash embed, you can pop it out. We'll go ahead and pull up the FeedFeedFeed help feed, which is something that everybody will be subscribed to when they first start FeedFeedFeed. Because we know that it has a movie embedded in it, and anytime you see a Flash movie that's embedded in your feeds, you can click this little link to pop it out, and it will go ahead and put that right here, so you can hit the play button and start to watch that while continuing to go over and check out your feeds. So that just is kind of nice if it's queuing a lot, or you don't really want to give your full attention to the movie, and then when you're done with it, you can just click the X to make it go away. So that's really all there is to FeedFeedFeed right now. It's just kind of a easier way to keep on top of your feeds without having to do to really manage them at all. You can just kind of go through, and then when you're done looking at them, you just click the X, they go away, and the next most relevant posts, or excuse me, feeds will come off the queue. Other thing I should mention is FeedFeedFeed is actually kind of a hybrid of a desktop slash web app. It's running Java underneath it, so it requires a Java-enabled browser, and it will actually be pulling down the feed information to your local machine, which is just kind of interesting tidbit for most, but it allows us to do some things like pull the feeds at faster rates, and also do all the churning for hot topics, which we just had some new ones coming in here, and do that on your end, so it's a little bit faster. So anyways, check it out. If you like it, that's great. You can always send us some feedback using the feedback link here, and yeah, thanks for watching.